Welcome to the start of Easter. It's our hope for you and your groups as you meet in your homes that experiencing this time together will prepare your hearts and focus your attention for the Easter weekend to come. What we will all be doing tonight is experiencing the Last Supper that Jesus had with his disciples. This last meal took place on the night before he was crucified, along with the events of his betrayal and all of the events of the Garden of Gethsemane. This reenactment of the Last Supper, this is not just a warm-up for the Easter weekend. In participating in this, we will richly understand the significance of the events of the crucifixion, burial, and resurrection of Jesus afterwards. This is because as we study the Gospel of Matthew, we came across the fact that Jesus spoke very specifically about his upcoming death. On at least 4 occasions, he's told his disciples that he was going to Jerusalem and that he would die. So we knew this would happen. However, Jesus never really explained what his death would accomplish. One of those occasions, he gave a little bit of a hint. He said, "For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." And that's about the best we have up to that point of what his death would accomplish, be a ransom for many. We also learnt from the birth narrative of Jesus that he was to be named Jesus because he will save his people from their sins. So we knew he was going to save people from sins. We knew he was going to die, but we weren't really able to put his death and salvation together until this moment, the moment of the Last Supper. And it's at the Last Supper where Jesus takes symbols connected to the Passover festival, and interprets those symbols in light of his upcoming death. In other words, it's at the Last Supper where Jesus most fully explains what his death would accomplish. And so he uses these symbols, food and drink to be precise, to help his disciples make sense of everything that's going to happen over the next few hours. And so that's what tonight is about. It's about participating in and experiencing the Last Supper of Jesus in order to help us understand everything that we're about to celebrate through the rest of the Easter weekend. So let's start by reading the account of the Last Supper of Jesus with his disciples.